I'm going to stop reading that right there and just highlight that through idolatry, God becomes enraged because he is a jealous God and he is the one to receive the honor, praise, and glory. And for this reason, when we turn away from him, turn away from worshiping him, his response, as we can see here, is to destroy said individuals. And that destruction could also look like destroying finances because a person has made playing the lottery or having more faith in the lottery than having faith in what God can do. It is having more faith in what the job will do than having faith that God will provide. It is why the love of money is the root of all evil, because people will idolize, and they will idolize money so much so that they will go out and sell their soul as in prostitution, destroying their inner peace and being, and as well as their body. The Bible reads, if I'm not mistaken, it's in Proverbs, that the worst form of, or the most critical, let me find it, but the most critical sin that a person can commit toward itself, towards oneself, is sex. That's sex outside of marriage, so some form of fornication. But let me find the actual scripture, okay? So it's not just me talking. Let's me find the actual scripture. What does the word say about? So it's in Mark. It says, it talks about it in Mark chapter 7, verse 20, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9, and Galatians chapter 5, verse 19. Development, exclusion from the kingdom. Um, So you can go pull those up, those scriptures up. But going back to idolatry and the ramifications of it, there are other areas that people may unknowingly choose to operate from a place of idolatry. Let me find some more scripture. And so it's not just me talking. There is also, you can find idolatry really highlighted in Exodus and God's reaction to said idolatry. I do want to go back to the example I gave earlier, in which idolatry could look like going to a family member or a loved one before going to God, and now you have made it's you have supplanted God from his rightful place and now are leaning onto other deities, lowercase g gods, or even people. And I've learned this is in my walk in what God had to deal with me on a couple years ago or a few years ago, was turning to family members before going to him. So when I had my first spiritual warfare moment, I didn't talk to anyone about it. One, God had already told me to be quiet, but two, I didn't speak to anyone because I knew that if I left it at his feet and I left it with him, then he would take care of it. And he did just that. And that is the swift moving of God when we lean on him as he calls for us to do. So that was today's word, right?